Hey, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Oh, Tuesday. Glad to be here with all of you. Welcome back to our Warrior Goddess New Year giveaway, day 4. And I know I was running late, so thanks for hanging out. I love that when I come on, I can see all of your chats and you all talking to each other, which is the best. So love it. So thanks for tuning in. Good morning, everyone. Really grateful to be with you this morning, Tuesday, January 5th, and we're in day 4 of our Warrior Goddess New Year giveaway. Today, our focus is on the word ground. Hey, Afuk. So for those of you that are just tuning in, good morning, Jamie, that are new to us, we are doing a 11-day giveaway, January 1st through January 11th. Every day we're doing love streams, emails, a focus for the day, a little video for the day, as well as an actual giveaway. So there's the giveaway of the teachings. There's also the giveaway of every day we do a random drawing from our list of people who are going to win 2 autographed books and of a Warrior Goddess Training or Warrior Heart book and a gift from my personal collection. So every giveaway, I go into my stuff and choose the things that are that I'm ready to let go of and send out into the community. Hey, Susie, I'm so glad you made it from Central Portugal. Welcome. Good morning, Judy, Wendy, Sarah. Hey, Crystal, Aaliyah. Hey, Kathy, Saray. Is it Saray? Sarai? Saray? Sarai, like your name? Sarah. Good morning. Great. Yes, and Mary was on the video today. Exactly. I just heard that. Great. So for those of you that are not signed up for the giveaway, make sure that you put your email in so that we can put you in the drawing. So it's warriorgoddess.com/giveaway. Surai, thank you. Sometimes it's hard doing Facebook because I don't get to hear you say what your names are, so I'm guessing. So thank you for giving me the phonetics. That's super helpful. So warriorgoddess.com/giveaway. Here is the link. So if you're not signed up for the giveaway, again, along with daily emails, focus, a little video, there is also a thank you, Sarai. Sarai. Okay, Sarai. You said it once, and I will now unsay it and say it better again. So, Sarai. We're going to practice saying Sarai's name over and over and over again until I get it right, which may take a while. So if you're not signed up for the giveaway, warriorgoddess.com/giveaway. Again, we're doing daily emails. We have a focus. Okay, today our focus is on the word ground. And we also have the physical gifts. So every day we're doing a random drawing for somebody to win 2 free autographed books and a gift out of my personal collection. We also have a grand prize, which is a year-long membership in our Warrior Goddess Training Circle, which is opening up again soon, as well as 2 coaching sessions with one of our mentors. So grand prize, we'll be announcing everything on January 15th. Great. So going into our focus for today, again, hey Shirley, hey Sabrina, hey Julie, thank you. Yay, I'm glad, Maria, that your hair is growing back, that you can pull it back. It's so nice to be able to pull your hair back. It's the best. The container that we're holding around this Warrior Goddess New Year giveaway is how to ditch expectations, how to let go of our expectations so that we can live unconditionally, so that we can really show up in the moment responding to what's arising rather than what we wish was arising or what we think should be arising. And one of the taglines we have for this is how to kick ass in 2021. And for me, a big piece of this is settling into our bodies and into the present moment. Instead of living from our head, rushing ahead, trying to figure out what's supposed to happen or what it's supposed to look like, this place of slowing down, getting back into our body and opening to this moment. Okay? Yeah, getting out of living in our heads. And this takes practice. One of the big things that I want to support all of us in as we step into 2021 is continuing to slow down, to be sustainable, to focus on our own self-intimacy and steadiness and that place of stillness. So today, as we talk about grounding, we're really talking about steadiness. How do we get steady? And feel the difference between living from trying to figure everything out, thinking, judging yourself, feeling victimized, trying to react or reacting to the world around you, versus that sense of steadiness where you're in your heart, where you're connected to your belly, where you're open into the present moment. And your mind is resting in the wisdom of your heart. Okay? That's the paradigm shift that we are in the middle of right now, I believe, is resetting ourselves from constantly trying to figure out, judging ourselves, comparing ourselves, trying to control the world around us, to coming back to settling into this moment. This moment. Aww. Welcome to Ufuk, Sarah from England, Rosemary from Glasgow, Scotland. I have a lot of friends in Glasgow. Becky, yay, wonderful. So expectations are like lines of energy going into the future of what we think the future should bring. Okay, and then we wait for that thing to come to us. That's what we do when we expect something, is we're living in the future of how someone should behave, how we should behave. And then the challenge is that we can then feel disappointed or resentful or frustrated or go into more judgment or more victimization because that expectation isn't unfolding the way we think it's supposed to. And one of the other ways to think about expectations, I talked about this on our first day together, was assumption, that we're making assumptions. And again, an assumption is I'm making something up, thinking that this should be what's happening. I'm assuming. And someone asked a great question yesterday. And that question was, is there any time that it's good or it's important to have expectations? Is there any time that it's good to have an expectation? And here's what I shared is around this idea of, it's a super simple but very effective metaphor. If you think about, if you always expect that no one is ever going to run a red light, that the expectation is people will always stop at red lights, you're more likely to get into an accident. So when you assume something to be true and you use that assumption or that expectation to then close down your awareness, because that's basically what the assumption is doing. The assumption is like, oh, I don't have to pay attention anymore because I've made this assumption and I've now decided that this is true. Same thing with an expectation. I've expected this is what you should be doing, or this is how I should be doing it, or this is what the world should be. And I then close down my intuition and my awareness. I'm no longer grounded in the present moment. I've now sent a line of energy into the future and decided this is the way it's supposed to be. And that then doesn't allow us to stay in the here and now with what's actually happening. And what's happened when you're steady, when you're grounded, you can adjust quickly as things change. So here's another metaphor. You're in a boat. How many of you have ever rafted before? It's pretty an amazing experience because the river's constantly changing. Constantly changing. And even if, and just notice your link is misspelled, and so it's not like, oh, thank you. Let me go warriorgoddess.com/giveaway. Let me go fix that. So with a river, there's places where there's eddies, where the water's coming back at you, there's rocks. Even if you've run that same river over and over and over again, it still changes. The river, you don't get habitual on a river. I really learned this. I was blessed to run the Grand Canyon with my husband at the time and his dad and a bunch of other people. And the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, it's intense. It's a very, very intense river. And my father-in-law had run it before twice. And he was also, both my husband at the time and my father-in-law were expert rafters. Like they had grown up on rivers. That was their life. And what happened is there was a rapid that was coming up. And if you've never been on a river before, like the big rivers, they're all mapped. And you have a map that says what's coming up so you know what to do. And on the really big rapids, you actually pull the boat to the side and study the river and study where your path is going to be. Because it changes. Even if you've run it before, things shift. So we were going through one of the smallest rapids, and the boat flipped. Because my father-in-law, bless him, made an assumption. He got, what's the right word? Complacent. He made an assumption. This is an easy one. We're already through it. And it was interesting because what happened is we went through the rapid and the tail end flipped the boat, like the very last part of the rapid. And I'll share that experience later. That was being thrown into a river that's really, really cold, that's really, really deep and really, really fast is a thing. But anyway, there was an assumption made. There was an expectation. This is an easy rapid. I don't have to pay attention. And this is also what happens to us when we're not super grounded and present in every moment, when we're not in that place of staying steady and saying what's coming, that we get in that place of complacency. And we can really do that in our relation, even with the relationships that are most important to us. We can start making assumptions. We can start having expectations that slip in of how things should be or how things have been. And things start to harden. And we're not showing up in the relationship. We can do this in relationship to our work or to being out in the world, where we start numbing ourselves out because we have all these expectations, all these assumptions of what should be happening. So we're not actually in the present. So going back to that river metaphor, that we want to stay present with the river of what's the river bringing us, and humble, deeply humble in relationship to the river. The river is always more powerful than we are. And guess what the river is a metaphor for? Life. And life is always coming at us, right? It's always moving and it's always changing. And we can train ourselves to be calmly, steadily aware of what's coming. Present, like we're not running out to figure it out and we're not running away from it. Steadiness means I'm willing to show up with what's coming and what's here. I'm willing to show up with a calm nervous system, present and open-hearted. Letting go of expectations actually will help us stay more calm, present, open, connected to our intuition and our creativity. So it's not about being on the river or that life coming at us that we're constantly worried about it. Oh my God, what's going to come next? What's around the corner? What if this goes wrong? And there's this place that sometimes we get into the mental habit of listing all the things that could go wrong. That's also an expectation, right? Hey, Norfolk, UK. Hey, Sally, welcome. I love that we have a lot of UK folks today. Yeah, so how do you want to be in that boat, in that container? That's you as the river of life moves. And we want to train ourselves to release and let go, to surrender, to listen, and to know sometimes you're going to get tipped over. No matter how calm, present, skilled, humble, sometimes you're still going to get flipped. That's just the truth. That's okay. Sometimes the flip is exactly what you need. Okay. And what I found is when I stopped dreading upheavals and started just saying, you know what? Sometimes upheavals happen, and I will navigate the upheaval as it happens, that I've become much more present and calm. And that even though the river might flip us, like life might completely upend things, like we got to see 2020. Hi, 2020. Thanks for flipping the boat, because it did. But sometimes when we get flipped, we learn how to find ground in a new way, how to find our steadiness in a new way, because we get to see what were we holding on to, right? What were we holding on to? What were we creating steadiness with that maybe was an illusion? And how do we find that steadiness right here rather than finding it outside of ourselves? Aw, Doe, I have numbed and disconnected myself for over 20 years now. And thanks to the Sacred Feminine and Warrior Goddess communities, I'm finally coming home. Beautiful. Yeah, and a lot of women that I work with or that become that join the Warrior Goddess community are women that have, had decades of marriage, kids, jobs that either get upended in some big dramatic way, or that they realize this is not what I want. I don't know who I am any longer, and are learning how to come home. And truly, whether you are young and you're finding yourself, or whether you have been on a spiritual journey or on a physical journey for a long time, and you've had relationships, kids, jobs, all the things, we're all, I believe, young and mature, learning how to come home to ourselves, to come back to here. And that coming back is around letting go of the expectations of who we think we're supposed to be at this time of our life, or how the world should be, or how other people should be, and to open to being steady here now with what's arising. And again, let's go back to the question around, is there ever a good time to have an expectation? Well, the truth is, we're going to make expectations and have assumptions. It's going to happen. You really can't be in body without making assumptions here or there. Okay. But are you making the assumption consciously, like this is an assumption and we'll see if it's true or not? I have an expectation and let's see what happens, versus this expectation is reality. This assumption is the truth. There's the difference, is your awareness that you're witnessing, oh, I have an expectation here. And that you're holding that lightly, understanding it could change at any time. That's just the truth. Anything can change at any time. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aw, beautiful Afuk. Yes. Yeah, Marie, exactly. Like you're in a cognitive machine that never stops. And all of us go into that habitual living where we're not really living our life anymore. We're being led. Okay, whether being led by what we think other people want us to be, whether we're being led by Facebook or distractions or other people's to-do lists, or there's so many things. Yeah, exactly. The challenge is how to flip without flipping out. Exactly. Aw. Yeah, Do, sending you love. And Afuk, I'm so grateful for you for your share. And sometimes it is those flips, those upends that really really change our life in a beautiful way. But it's not pleasant. It's never pleasant to get flipped out of your boat and be in the river and not know if you're going to live. Yeah. Jamie, thank you. Or whoever is coming, it must be Jamie. Jamie's coming in to help. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Yeah. So we are all learning how to get more steady with ourselves and how to, as we talked about yesterday, clean the negative thoughts. So Do was saying about how you're having a hard time getting out of bed and starting the day with positivity. And it's a rewire. We're learning how to rewire our system, and it takes time and effort to disentangle. Yeah. Great question. Yeah. Yeah. And that we need support around that. And, especially in these times that we're in, where there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of upheaval, that it makes us feel more wobbly and have more dread of what am I getting up to, or how am I going to beat myself up? Often our dread is around our own self-punishment. So learning how to change our own inner dialogue is a big piece of the work that we do in the Warrior Goddess community. And coming back home to ourselves so that we're allies to ourselves rather than enemies. And that takes time. Okay. Yeah. Sarah, what you've just said has really resonated with the situation I'm in. I realize it's my reaction that's making it difficult rather than the situation itself. Yes. My boat has flipped and I've just sat in the river wondering why I'm not moving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes these metaphors can be so helpful to realize and remember the boat flipping is the boat flipping period. And we can judge ourselves that the boat flipped, or we can feel victimized, or we can, be horrified. And if we just go, boat flipped. And all of us in 2020 had a big boat flip. Okay, if you're just joining, we're talking about this idea of being in a river, and that the best way to be on a river as the river is moving, that river is life, is to not have expectations. Oh, well, I know what's coming, or I don't know what's coming. Either way, right? But I'm present with what's coming. I'm going to show up with what's coming, that we're steady inside of ourselves. And the truth is, as you get steadier, you'll be able to navigate what's coming at you in a more graceful, creative, joyful way, even the hard things, okay? Because you'll have a different perspective. And regardless of how steady you are, you're still going to get flipped sometimes. Your life sometimes is still going to get upended. Someone's going to die unexpectedly, or someone's going to die expectedly. Still can completely upend your life. Your children graduate and go to college, and you realize how much energy you've invested in them, and that you don't know who you are anymore. You recognize that you've spent your life pleasing other people, and that you have no idea who you are, how to make boundaries. Okay, what are some of the other things that we realize that can flip our boat? Your partner wants a divorce, and you didn't see it coming, or you did see it coming, or you want a divorce. That's still, I've talked to many women who have been the ones that initiated a divorce, and it's still completely upended their life. It's still incredibly challenging to take disentangle two lives. Okay, especially if you have kids. Yeah, exactly, Julie Ann. I've definitely experienced the flip into the river a few times the past 2 years, but it's helped me learn a lot about myself. It does. And when what's familiar is upended, and you're doggy paddling in the river of life, you get to find new skills, basically. Doesn't mean it's ever easy. Yeah, Maria, being an enabler totally sucks, but I am not anymore. Beautiful. Yeah, and that's that place of getting more and more into your steadiness. Okay, so great question, Hannah Ye. How can I differentiate between expectation and positive thinking? Yes, for positive thinking. Okay? Yes, for positive thinking. And it's really important that we continue to shift our entire being so that we're moving towards positivity versus negativity. Because negativity will dampen your immune system, shut down your creativity, drain your energy. Like we kind of know where we go with negativity. And positivity, and I love that word, my dear friend Don Jose Ruiz, I don't know if he coined it, but he talks about this idea of positivity a lot, is that we're putting energy towards what we want to create, how we want to live, who we want to be in the world, and that we're holding faith, that we're holding beauty. And the difference between positivity and expectation is that expectation says these positive thoughts that I'm thinking should come true, that should be this way. Versus I'm holding positivity, I'm holding faith, and I'm open to what arises. Okay. I love that. I think positive, negative is an adjective and expectation is a verb. That is true too. Yeah. And positivity for me is a verb. Okay. As well. So here's an example of stability. I was trying to share some like physical example for us around this idea of positivity and expectation. So one of the things that used to really upset me and hurt me was when I would go out for walks in nature and I would see trash on the ground. And I would go into a negative spiral of humans don't care about the earth. Hey, Sarah, welcome. How dare they? I would cause me to be upset and to feel hurt and to feel frustrated and feel resentful. And I would pick up the garbage and I would throw it away and I'd be like, dumb humans, I don't like humans. Okay. So that was an example when I really started feeling into it, because I realized I was making myself unhappy. There was garbage and I was responding to it. I was making myself unhappy. I had an expectation other humans should pick up garbage. Now, I still believe that's true. I do believe humans should pick up garbage. However, do humans always pick up garbage? What's true? So when I got steady, when I really came back into my center and opened my heart, what I got is humans litter sometimes. That's just the truth. Humans litter. I don't have to like it, but the truth is humans litter. And when I hold an expectation humans should not litter, then I am unhappy when I find litter. Okay, that's what was going on. So what I decided, I decided, okay, how do I bring in positivity? How do I bring in positive thinking without the expectation? Yeah, I totally agree, Maria. And that we humans should not create so much garbage. Agreed. Okay. However, right now, humans love creating garbage, is the truth. Yeah, and litter. Yeah, and just stuff. Okay. So what I started doing is as I went for walks, when I would see trash, when I would see garbage, instead of starting down the negative, how dare humans, and having that expectation and then feeling frustrated that I had to clean up after people, I just took a breath and opened my heart. And I practiced just opening my heart. There's garbage. And I ran a couple of different experiences. The first experiment was I didn't pick up garbage. I would just walk past it. And I had to break I must pick it up. I let go of that expectation as well. And I just started practicing just loving. Anytime I saw garbage, I just sent it love and sent whoever littered loved and sent myself love and agree. And also, yeah, and sometimes I litter and I create garbage, to just bring it into context of litter happens, period. Sometimes I litter, period. There's litter on the ground now, period. And just practice bringing in love, which for me was shifting from the reaction and the negativity and the frustration to shifting to positivity and just love. And then what happened is that I became neutral into love anytime I saw litter. And then I was an absolute choice to pick it up or to leave it. So now when I go for a walk, if I see litter, sometimes I'll pick it up and sometimes I don't. And I don't have a reaction either way. It's a choice. I'm back in steadiness and in choice rather than reaction. And this, the garbage litter example, translates to everything. Okay, so I can have intent. Let's say it this way. I can have intent that I'm in relationship with people that are respectful and speak the truth. Like that can be what I want to create in my world, but I also understand not everybody can speak the truth. And sometimes I can't speak the truth to myself. Sometimes I don't even know what my own truth is. So how can I expect others to always know what their truth is? And if I'm in relationship with someone that I feel is being consistently disrespectful or not sharing the truth or hurting themselves in a way that then spills over, I can then make boundaries. Or I can ask for something in that relationship, but I don't have an expectation. It's not, the expectation would be it's never okay for them to lie. That may be your truth, but does it cause you to suffer? Or does it just cause you to go, oh, I need to make a boundary here? What do I need to do? What's my next step? No, I always really, around this idea of expectation, I want to share a poem, actually. We're going to go a little bit longer. Poem. I wonder if I can find it. Yes! This is one of my favorite poems. You know, this idea of expectations of other people and how other people should be and who they should be, that this remembrance that we all make mistakes, we fall down, we hurt others without meaning to, and that is part that we hopefully learn from it, and that we have every right to make boundaries with other people. And we can make a boundary without judging them, without thinking they're a horrible person, without putting them in a particular category of like creating an expectation. This is a bad person. They're always going to do this. We can also understand humans make mistakes. And sometimes boundaries are needed. Absolutely. I'm a big happiness around making boundaries. Yeah, exactly, Crystal. Interesting to consider boundaries in the context of a constantly moving river. It is. Yeah. And in a way, what the boundary is a couple things. Is one, the boat that you're in, you have a container for yourself. You're not just in the river. You have a container that you're holding. And that part of the boundary is if you go over a particular part of the river and you keep hitting an eddy and getting stuck, or you keep hitting a rock and wrecking your boat, the boundary is to go, oh, don't go there. Like set a boundary here in my own thoughts or in my relationship with others. Okay. And this idea too that we make boundaries not with the expectation of the other person will completely abide by my boundary. We make the boundary saying, I'm going to set this boundary and then I'm going to learn to enforce it, or like how to be in relationship with it. It's going to change as well, perhaps. Yeah, exactly. I suck at enforcing boundaries, guilt. Yeah, it's one of the most challenging things for many of us is how to set boundaries, how to communicate clearly. I mean, there's so many things that we just didn't learn, truthfully. Yes, Crystal, your physical body and your energetic body is part of your boundary of what energy you accept and what energy you don't accept. But we can make open-hearted, clear boundaries and then open-heartedly and clearly enforce them as well. But that takes practice. Yeah, that takes practice. And Maria, sometimes it's true that if a person respects you, they will respect your right to set up boundaries. And sometimes relationships are complicated, right, loves? Relationships are complicated. Sometimes you setting a boundary triggers somebody else's fear of abandonment, fear of not being heard. And then they start fighting your boundaries. It's maybe not a respect issue. It's more, it triggers something inside of them. And how do you compassionately then navigate that? Okay. Yeah, that's what we're working to get to, is we're working to get to choice, that steadiness of being centered in choice and giving other people the choice to respond how they're going to respond. They're going to respond how they're going to respond. We want to come back into relationship of getting grounded and steady in this moment, clear communication, being compassionate, loving, and present in this moment with what's arising, making choices, knowing other people are going to make choices, and that we work to navigate them together. And sometimes people don't want to play with us. They don't want to navigate. They don't want to be in discussion with you. They don't want to play. And that's okay. They have that choice. Yes, exactly. And that choice to say yes or no. And that they have the right to say yes or no as well. Okay. When we're grounded, when we're rooted and present, it's much easier to navigate how everything changes, moves. Everybody's at choice. No, especially you'll find yourself if you're wanting everyone to like you, which is what I fall into. If you are wanting everyone to play a particular way, if you're wanting everyone to be truthful, like whatever it is, your attention is now out here trying to control their behavior, thoughts, actions, instead of staying here with how are you going to respond. Yeah, exactly, Jamie. It can trigger the fear of loss of connection in love relationships. Yeah, and there's a lot of beautiful work around attachment theory, and there's so many places we can go. So, but the understanding of this idea, like sometimes I hear it in the New Age healing community, this idea of like, well, you don't respect me, and therefore I have to end the relationship or make a boundary. Sometimes it's so like there's a lot going on. We're so tender. And to learn how to really get into our vulnerability, what's actually going on, rather than the just knee jerk, I have to stop this relationship, or you're disrespecting me, and yes, sometimes there is disrespect and you do need to end the relationship. Not saying that you don't. And sometimes there's slow down. Like, where's the hurt? Where's the fear? Where's the vulnerability? Share with each other. Go deeper in those important relationships in your life. Jill, with my soon-to-be ex-husband, but in pandemic, he is one of the few to watch our son. He was here inside. It's hard. Yeah, I'm listening to Unbroken. I chose to leave. Right choice. Lots of struggle integrating. Yeah, Jill, I'm sorry, because I cannot imagine how challenging it is to be separating from your husband, going through this process when you have a child, when you're in pandemic. Like, there's so much complexity. And to keep coming, I'm really glad that you're listening to Unbroken, because it's such a good resource in that way, is to give yourself the space to integrate. It's going to be messy. It really is. And you've got a lot of support. There's a lot of women that are walking through the same thing that you're walking through, or have walked through the same thing. So if you can hold hands with the women that have gone through the ends of relationships, that have learned how to parent in a new way, that I always think about this when women are giving birth. I'm a doula, and so I've been at a couple of births. And there's a point where most women, good morning, they're like, I cannot do this. I can't do this. And to be able to hold their hand and say, sweetheart, women have been doing this for thousands of years. You can do this. Feel all those ancestors, feel all those women, call that strength in. So for those of you that are going through a hard time right now, of any sort, whether that hard time is a divorce, or around the pandemic and finances, or around your own spiritual practice, or having a hard time getting, like, whatever it is you're struggling with right now, to open your heart to feeling that there are millions of women that have gone through what you're going through, or millions of humans that are going through what you're going through and have survived, and that we can hold you steady. So this idea of staying steady inside of ourselves, sometimes we're not steady and we need to lean into other people that are steady. It's part of why I'm doing the Warrior Goddess New Year giveaway, is to create steadiness. To create steadiness for us so that we can walk in together. Okay? Because I feel super optimistic and excited and open to the complications that are this time. Now, one of my focuses right now is digesting complexity and staying steady through that. So doesn't mean I'm going to do it perfectly, but I'm going to do my best and then share that with each of you. And Jamie, you know this well, right? As you are in relationship with holding humans. It's a delicate and beautiful dance, relationships are. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. So somebody had asked about Unbroken. We have a beautiful, incredible circle called the Warrior Goddess Training Circle. And it is a membership circle that's by month or by year. That is really the one program that I'm offering now. And what we did over the last 4 months is we dismantled a lot of the programs that we were offering, a lot of the different programs, and we pulled it into one thing, one beautiful offering called the Warrior Goddess Training Circle. And within that are all my programs that I've created over the years. So one of those is Unbroken, which is a course around for women that are going through, and the circles for women is also open to all genders, but that is about women that are going through divorce or separation. There's also Warrior Goddess Authenticity, a course around how to get back into our integrity. There's a whole series around Ignite, around impeccability. So there's all the courses, all the recordings of courses that I've done over the years, as well as many live classes. So there are weekly classes that we do, as well as leadership training and retreats. So it's a really incredible container. It's not open right now. We'll be opening it up in a week or so. But that's what Unbroken is. It's part of this larger Warrior Goddess Training Circle. So keep an eye out. We'll share more about the training circle coming up. And again, the giveaway. So for those of you that are just joining, if you're not on my mailing list, if you want to be part of the giveaway, you'll get a little email every day, a little video of focus word. We're going through January 11th. And then every day there's a drawing to win 2 autographed books and something from my collection. So I have for the giveaways, I go through my stuff. I go through everything I own and see what I'm ready to let go of. My jewelry, it's sometimes altar items. There's all sorts of things that are given away. So we're picking one winner every day randomly from the people that are signed up for the giveaway. And then that group is also then eligible for the grand drawing. And the grand prize drawing is a year-long membership in our Warrior Goddess Training Circle and 2 free coaching sessions. So again, if you want to join, if you're not on the mailing list, here's the link to join the giveaway. If you are on our mailing list, yay, then you know that you get weekly newsletters. I'm going to work on today's blog right after this. And that you can make sure that you check your email. So the emails are coming out every day for the Warrior Goddess New Year giveaway. If you're on the list and you haven't gotten one of those emails, check your spam. Make sure that you pull it into your priority mail or whatever you call it, your inbox. And then there's a little link. You only have to click it once, which says click here to join the drawing. You just have to click that link once and you'll be put in the drawing. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at hello@heatherashamara.com. We're here for you. I know it is an amazing grand prize. It's super exciting. Hey, Naomi. I've also been watching Unbroken. I found it to be incredibly beneficial, even when there's challenges in my relationship that offer a mystery. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, hon. Thank you. Yeah, that Unbroken class is it was one of the most tender, vulnerable, intimate classes that I've done, because I really went into my pain and my struggle around the end of my marriage. And I know it's been really beneficial to a lot of women. I'm glad to hear that it's beneficial in relationships as well. Yeah. So Doe Unbroken is part of a larger, our Warrior Goddess training circle that will be opening it up next week. All right. So one more thing of other things that are coming up this month, because we're offering a lot of things this month to our community to help us step into 2021 mindfully. So this January, I'm still in December, January 12th, 13th, 14th, we will be doing webinars, how to claim your Warrior Goddess self. If you sign up for the giveaway, you'll go into that webinar automatically. And we're starting to talk about it. So join the giveaway and we'll share more about that so you can pick your date. We're also on January 16th doing for the first time online to the public, my one-day event, which is called Reclaim Your Wholeness. Sorry, I'm getting my things mixed up. Reclaim Your Wholeness. So it's the first time I'll be offering it online to the public. It'll be free. And it is on January 16th. Okay, so that's a really great, yummy thing that's coming up. Yeah. So make sure you're on our list so you can get all the details. Again, warriorgoddess.com/giveaway will put you into those things. And thanks, Naomi. Yeah, the Warrior Goddess Training Circle is really incredible. I'm excited that we're opening it up again. And there's so much support within that circle. So, all right, love. So I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm doing live streaming through January 11th. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 New York, 5 London every day. So join me right here, wherever you're tuning in, whether that's Facebook or YouTube. And if you want to listen to past love streams from the giveaway, if you haven't been able to listen to them live, this is the best place to do it, which is on my public Facebook page. Oops, let's try this again, .amara/live. So you can always go there. If you want to listen, that's just the easiest way to go find the previous videos on my Facebook page. And you can also see them on YouTube as well. Yeah. And as we open up the Warrior Goddess Training Circle, just know we'll be sharing more about it. We also have some scholarships, so Doe, hang in there because there's scholarships as well. And keep tuned in here for love streaming through January 11th. Again, either on Facebook or on YouTube. And please make sure if you're not on our email list that you join the giveaway, warriorgoddess.com/giveaway, so that you can get into the drawing for all the goodies and all the magic. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. Much love to each of you. Have a blessed Tuesday. Remember, our word today is ground, steadiness. So can you practice coming into this moment, pulling back your expectations? Stay here. Stay right here today. That's our practice. All right. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.